Hello, I'm here. It's me. Let me shut this off. I feel like my setup's off today. Everything's weird. Okay, if you're here, say hello, because otherwise I don't know you're here. This music feels very too mellow. Too mellow. Next, please. I might play around with music for a minute. We might change our minds. And I am stitching tonight, as usual. Let's see. Maybe? Do I do folk pop? Do I do dream? I usually like dream pop, but I just don't know if that's boring if I do that every time. Let's see. Dream pop's cool, I think. Maybe I should find a playlist that everyone would like. Let's see. I'm just gonna hang out until somebody says hello. And then we can chat, because I don't want to just talk to myself. I can talk to Vincent. Hello, Vincent. Oh, I love you too. We haven't surfed in a week, so we're both very not happy. A little not having a great time is how we're feeling, I think. Let's see. Maybe lo-fi beats. Or retro wave? No, retro wave's too much. Maybe lo-fi beats. Thanks, honey. Okay, how about this? Maybe we like this better today. I don't know. I hope some of my regulars show up because I don't want to stitch alone tonight. But I will start on whatever. My little brother's too busy now for me too. He made the dean's list at college, so he's too busy for his little big sister on her little stream. Let's see. I want to put my hair up. I feel like it might be cool enough tonight to not. Usually I need to. Let's see. We are coaching a thread. Let's see. Tonight we're working on the same Hocus Pocus pattern of mine that I need to finish stitching. I took a break from it since I injured my back. And so I pushed it back a day last week, so I'm just working on it tonight still. I'm trying to work on it a little more slowly so I don't mess up anything anymore, because I do want to go surfing as soon as the waves come back. There just hasn't been any. Usually surf should still be like the best time of year is July through October here. But alas, we've decided to disappear early. It's, oh well. I don't like this music either. Everything feels like too downbeat, I think, is what my issue is. Let's see what this one sounds like. I know I like this creator on Epidemic Sound. That's better. It's a little bit happier sounding. Okay, we're still doing 3 strands so that it looks cuter and more full, since everything's like really just blocks of color on this pattern. And I use Thread Magic, my most favorite thing in the world, for all my threads, especially when I'm using 3 strands on like 14 count, because it gets pretty frayed otherwise. And I have Edward here to judge me. Let's see. It's the first stream I've had coming back where no one's been on immediately. Huh?
We have an empty gas tank.
Empty, empty?
Empty. Can't cook anything.
Oh, like, oh, that's fun. Propane. I was literally wondering when our propane was gonna run out, because it's been actually months. Well, we can refill it at that U-Haul tomorrow because that's right on the way up. Propane tank is out. Well, guess what we're doing tonight? Our usual?
I was gonna eat indoors,
Oh, okay.
but
I'm just saying if you can't cook anything. If you can't cook anything, we can do that.
so
You don't have to. It's okay. If you want to eat leftovers cold, that's fine. I mean, I won't judge you.
better not.
Let's see if there's any deals tonight.
Oh, so cute.
They don't have a free 6-piece chicken nuggets tonight, which they have at any time the Dodgers get more than 6 runs, which they do a lot, actually. It's been a lot lately. I'm gonna swap this. I'm just gonna be here talking to myself till somebody shows up. Talking to Vincent, mostly. Actually. I'll just talk to Vincent. I'm so tired of doing this orange, I'm gonna switch to a new color. I'm sick of it.
You can talk to me if you want to.
I'll just talk to you.
I don't know if they can hear me through the microphone though.
I don't know either.
But I will check. I will keep on talking and see if that picks me up.
Okay. See if you can hear yourself. I kind of hope you can't, because then otherwise that means that the mic picks up a lot. I said I kind of hope they can't hear you, because then that means that the microphone picks up a lot.
Right now they can barely, but I can switch a setting so we can hear both of me very quickly.
It's up to you.
Up to you if you want me to talk to you or not.
I don't really care too much. I'm just going to be here until somebody shows up.
This.
Vincent's joining in. This is a couple stream tonight.
Well, let's try that now.
I
can hear myself.
You can hear yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. Well, we can keep discussing surfing. Because we still haven't figured that out. Our normal spot has been so dead. So we've been thinking about where else we want to go. The only problem is the spots that are good right now also have like hella long walks. Like a hike with your surfboard all the way down from like these cliffy areas. It's just like it's not something I'm really willing to do. Like I love surfing, but
this one is just a set of stairs.
Yeah.
It's a set of stairs.
Just stairs all the way down. It's a long way down too. It's a lot. That's where we are right now. We had to come back down south to hang out with my aunt and uncle last night. Because we're gonna be watching their cats for them for 2 weeks.
You little cutie.
In the middle of October. So we went to hang out with them. And so we're just still kind of down south hanging out. We're not at our usual spot in Dana Point. I got some nice surf pictures today. There's this guy.
Did you get them?
Yeah, you can look at my email. I have them. There's this guy that had like a really nice telephoto lens, and he just like ran up to me when I was finished surfing one day, a little bit ago, and he was like, "Hey, I got pictures of you," and I was like, "Cool." I think he does it a lot. His Venmo is like all people like paying for surf photos, so I think he just like shows up to beaches, takes photos, shows them to people, and then if people like them, you just pay like, I don't know, $10 a photo or something to get them all done. So my dad sent me $50 to pay for them because I wasn't going to. My dad's like, you should have those. So I sent him $50, and then instead of sending me just 5 photos, which is what his original email said, he sent me like 15. So that was nice. He said, you can just pick your 5 favorite. I was like, cool. So that's kind of fun. I have those now. There's a couple where I look like I know what I'm doing. He caught the tail end of me on a wave, and it was a wave you can tell if you are a surfer. You can tell like I caught it too late anyway. There's a couple where I look like I know what I'm doing. Hi, Mary. It's just been me this whole time. I'm glad you're here. I was just talking about pictures some guy took of me at the beach the other day that I just got back in my email. They're pretty fun. It's just fun to have them because no one's ever gonna take pictures of you otherwise. It's just me and Vince, we're both in the water. You're drawing art? What are you drawing? I've been drawing so much lately. And I'm really, really serious about trying to get back into it at this point. But I also feel so rusty. So what are you drawing? Maybe he'll give me some inspiration. Let's see. Is that as clear as it could be? I don't know. Yeah, it is. I did figure drawing today. That was what I did. I went back to the basics. Fun! That's so fun. I love that Fall Out Boy is still a thing. Still doing Taylor Swift collabs. What are they doing?
They were fighting.
You're fighting? Oh my gosh, get away from me.
Guys. Come on. Hey, come on.
It's okay, you can go up, you can go up.
Get out of here.
Oh, here. I just got a text from the guy who helped us with our upper cabinets. He's my dad's friend. His brother lives in San Clemente, and he just texted me that he's in San Clemente. Yeah, so maybe that'd be fun this weekend. We should do it. It's a car met Pete and Patrick as both sides of the Queen of Hearts. Cute! I love that. I need to go watch the music video. I haven't kept up with their new stuff. They were all in all my old pop punk playlists when I was a teenager. That's fun. I have just been doing boring art school stuff. I'm really trying to learn digital art. It's oh, it's an old video, never mind. Yeah. Vincent's just showing me the text to approve before he sends it. Oh, okay, well I still want to see it. I had all my favorites when I was younger, but I think I didn't have any siblings, older siblings, to show me how to do stuff. So I missed a lot of the pop culture parts of it. I didn't know anything about Britney Spears when I was a kid. I didn't watch any music videos ever of anything until I was a little bit older, and then I had a couple favorites that from emo boys I thought were cute, but I didn't keep track of that much when I was young. I just had my favorites and I just listened to them all the time. I think mostly because I didn't have any friends in high school because I went to 4 different high schools. So I would just skate around by myself. So I wasn't hanging out being did you guys see this? This is so fun. I just had no one to talk to about it. That's so fun. Okay, I'm gonna catch up. You're inspiring me. I feel like I've been catching up on so much stuff lately. I'm really serious about art. It's fun that you're drawing because that's literally what I've been doing every day. I decided I want to do Inktober, which is kind of insane of me to do because it's so much effort and work. But I just feel like it would be good for me to just build a daily habit. I'm a literal art major dropout. I literally, in the illustration program, I have actually been accepted into 2 different illustration programs. One in FIT in New York and BYU illustration, which is really prestigious because the animation program in particular, Disney loves BYU students for. So it's extremely competitive. Illustration's a slightly bit less competitive, but still difficult. And I got into that program first try. So I feel like I owe it to myself to see some of those passions and pursuits through. I feel like I just kind of dropped everything and started an adventure life, and it's been a decade all of a sudden, and I'm not an artist. I'm not doing art all the time like I used to. So anywho, today I was literally looking at a whole bunch of pins of different art styles and stuff and thinking I actually need to develop a style. I can draw and I can copy most anything, any kind of art. I can make it look like I can draw that. But I don't have a really distinct style of my own, which is why I don't post it on social media ever. So I need to work on that. Dana, you're alive! Dana's living through a hurricane right now in Georgia. Luckily you're further, like far enough north. I hope it's not too bad. It's not like an actual hurricane, just hurricane winds. I hope everything's good. Are the babies staying asleep, or is it gonna be like a crazy night, is the real question. Yeah, not super exciting, not super fun. Like 10 inches of rain is what Dana said earlier. It's a lot of rain. Ooh, exciting. I hope your power does not go out, because that's just annoying. You're free to hang out with me. Do something fun. But anywho, art, I keep, like, I want to just make stuff that I like, but then I keep really feeling like I'm so rusty that I have to really go back to the fundamentals. And some figure drawing again. The very most fundamentals. I still got it. Like, I can figure draw. It's just, I need to learn how to translate what I have in my brain onto paper, and I can't do it right now. I just feel like so disconnected. So today I was looking at a bunch of different art on Pinterest. I was like, I'm just gonna pin every single thing that I love that I would like want to be able to draw like them. And I put it all on one board so I could kind of get a sense for like what's like my dream art style, so I can start to like make sure I'm using the right tools and like subject matter to like emulate that a little bit better. And then I made a sub board for characters I want to draw, because I was like, I'm not gonna be motivated to draw unless it's someone that I think is awesome. So I've been trying to like think through all of like my old favorite boys and girls that I like loved when I was younger, that I thought were so cute and so cool, so that I can draw them, because it'll be more fun. You just reading Priory? Did you like it? I have it. I bought it on Kindle and I have not read it yet. It's so long. That's the Priory of the Orange Tree, right? That's what you're talking about? Mary, figure drawing is so good. It's my favorite to default to, because you just get into like a really good flow state, and you can just like, your like pen can just keep moving, or pencil can just keep moving and moving until something emerges. Okay, cool, Dana, I will start to read it. It's been on my list since I've been doing so much stitching and drawing. I've been just watching so many things instead of reading, because I can't read and do this at the same time. When I was doing more knitting, I could do more reading, because I can knit and read at the same time. It's pretty automatic. You don't have to look at it as much. But this, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. I'll show you what I did. Maybe it'll inspire you. There's like, they have like those good websites, you know? Ugh, I can't remember. There's one that just has endless like figure drawing references, which I like to get on sometimes, but sometimes it just feels really stale to me. So today I just like on Pinterest, I just went through like, I just found like dynamic like poses from people. Let's see. This was me the other day, dying. I was like, what the F is this? I hated it. I was like, how do I not remember how to draw a head? Like, I was so mad at myself. So I spent a few hours drawing heads yesterday. And then today I just did Pinterest, because I was wanting to do something more fun than. But this was today. I felt so much better today. It's like, okay, we're back, baby. I still remember how to draw. I felt the other day was horrible. I felt terrible about it. It was so bad. I'm just so rusty. Like all my sketches look like actual chicken shit. They're not good. I just like my muscles can't move the way that I want them to, holding a literal pencil. Figure drawing. Okay, Mary, if you want to do figure drawing and you want to make it really fun, there's a book that I love. I'll send you the free version I found online. It's more for like academic use. So it's like 30 or 40 bucks. I think actually on Amazon it's like $50 to buy it, which is absurd. So I used it in college and I love it. It's how I learned how to figure draw like that. It's called Force. Dynamic figure drawing for animation, but it's just like the philosophy of like how to how to put a lot of like action and movement in your drawings. I'll show you. Like, so like instead of doing like, you know, like I think the traditional way of learning figure drawing and like learning how to draw a human is like very blocky. Like there's a lot of like cylinders and squares. And this is all like curved lines, like no straight lines really at all. And it's about learning how like the line of action like bounces across the body in like a balanced way. So you get really used to drawing like really loose circles, and like the way that he does it, seems Matthew Matesi, Michael Matesi, he does like the chest, torso, and then like the hips are just two blobby circles that you kind of like are more like bendable and mushy than like the traditional like straight lines. Straight lines just make everything look really stiff, especially for the way that I tend to like they translate for me. So anyway, I love this so much. I'll share it in the Discord, the free version of this book. But it really like changed my life because it's just like all of like, oops, it's like curve, like they just like bounce back and forth across. I can't do this backwards, but they bounce back and forth. It's like line of action, line of action, line of action, line of action. It's all curves, and it works so much better. And I think it looks so cool. Even if your figure drawing like isn't amazing, it looks like you know what you're doing. Hi Ruth, nice to see you. How you doing? I was just showing off my figure drawing practice today. We're talking about art. What are you working on? I should be stitching. I'm talking about drawing. My brain really can't stick with one thing ever, so I have to have multiple creative endeavors going. I have my half-finished knitting or cardigan that I'm knitting right here, and I have this, and then I have drawing. But yeah, let me share it right now before I forget. I think I just have it. Let's see. I just have it on my iPad. But it is my most favorite thing. And the way he explains it is so simple, and he just uses tons of like examples, so it's just easy to follow. But it really like it changed how I do things. Here in. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Stitchcraft. I'm gonna share it in general discussion. My fave figure drawing book. He also has an entire anatomy book that is cool too, but it's less useful for just like learning dynamic figure drawing. You can tell I'm very animation based just because of my training. Not that I'm doing any animating, but that was my original dream, was to be like a concept art designer. I really love concept art. I probably will always love it. I love like a big scenic background and like a lot of motion, like a character in the middle of something and like a whole backstory. One like painting or drawing, that's my bag. So I tend to steer towards that kind of stuff. Fantastic Realism is my other favorite book for like creature design. It's beautiful and fun to read because there's just like full color animations on every single page. Let's see. I don't remember if I have any other books that I really love. I had a few that I was required to get in college that I like. Wah. Like I don't love them, but I have them. Andrew Loomis is the one, I think he's the best for particularly heads. I like the Loomis method for drawing faces. It's a little more like rote, like repetitive, but that's okay I think for faces because you end up doing so much customization with each different face anyway. Let me just make sure that I actually shared. Yes, okay. It's only 10 megabytes. It's easy. Okay, back to drawing. Or back to stitching, I mean. Like a book or let me show you. In Force, they have some examples of like fat models that are amazing. Like they're so beautiful. And he describes like how the lines of motion work with like a different shaped body, which I think is really helpful. Let's see, I was just looking at it today. I saw it literally. He's got all kinds of people. He's got old people, and he's got, oops, that's a penis. He's got like all kinds of shapes. There's one drawing that he has that I just love so much. Let me find showing someone sitting. This one. I think it's the most beautiful thing. He's so talented at just making everyone amazing. But they definitely covers all of it. And let's see, he did one talking about, there's one drawing that I remember distinctly because he's talking about doing it like 4D, like, you know, the dynamic lines of action being like more perspective based. There's a pregnant person. He has all body types. Let's see. Ah, here it is. I just love it. It is beautiful. You want to know something hilarious? I took figure drawing classes. Thanks, honey. I took figure drawing classes in New York. Thanks, Sean. Cheers. I took figure drawing. The first time actually I did like a professional kind of like or serious academic like art class. I took at the art school, Student Arts League in New York. It's in a really old building and it's in Midtown, and anyone can sign up. You just pay it. I think it's like a monthly. When I did this a decade ago, I think it was like $90 a month or something to go to as many figure drawing classes as you want with live models, which is like amazing for a 19, 20-year-old. So my first experience with figure drawing is like normal, you know, like your typical nude models in like classroom setting with really good instructors that were so like helpful. And then I get into the BYU program, and at BYU, the figure drawing models aren't allowed to be nude. They have to wear underwear. So that already just really messes up like the lines of the body. It's really hard to ignore it, in my opinion, when you're already trying to figure out all the lines. And then on top of that, the illustration instructor, the figure drawing like a professor, I loved her. She was great. She's, I think, from Ukraine. She had like an accent and she was really cool and young and hip, and like I really loved her. But the illustration, like the main illustration professor for illustration 1 and 2, which is like what I was doing my first year there, he had just moved from Blue Sky Studios to teaching. So he was in Connecticut for, you know, like he did like the Peanuts movie and like a bunch of other, like he was like a real, you know, established professional like animator and illustrator. So yeah, he was teaching illustration 1 and he was so difficult. Like he was cold. Like he didn't let anyone talk in class. Like it was like, am I in high school? Like it was so weird. I'm like, you know, 21 years old and like having to be silent and like sketch in my little book for 3 hours. And I just really struggled. I struggled so much. I didn't learn anything in that class. And oh man, it was so hard. And everyone else hated it too. Like I'm still friends with some people from that class because we all got to know each other like outside of class, complaining about how difficult it was. So that was like kind of one of the reasons I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't getting good education with figure drawing because I couldn't even sketch standard nude models. They're all broken up with these boxy underwear in the middle. It's so hard to ignore. And then like, oh man, and then that illustration class, I just learned nothing. I was just struggling so much. And I felt like everyone was like practicing so much more than me. And I just could not figure it out. And I was really too shy to ask. It was rough. That was one reason I think I was happy to get married and move to France. Hey, Daniel. Nice to see you. And Ruth, yes, anatomy books are great. Force, the guy that does Force, Michael Matosi, he has a animation or an anatomy version of his book, which I could also share in Discord if you want. It goes like section by section of the body, so it's really useful if you're like struggling to figure out like how everything fits together. Like if there's one part of the body that you're drawing that just like looks off, it's like really helpful for that, I think. But I think the dynamic drawing one is way better just for like practicing, like, you know, the actual just shape of a body that doesn't look stiff and boring. Yes, Dana, it's true. I could look up. Do you guys want to see? I could show you some of my old figure drawing stuff. Yeah, there only were skinny, tall models, and they're just so boring. They're so difficult to draw. Everything is just boxy naturally, and so it's really hard to like make it look dynamic when you're already flattening it into 2D. Mary, that's so fun. Okay, you have to share a picture when you're done. Yeah, what's hilarious is like, for how prestigious BYU's animation and illustration programs were, which, figure drawing is an incredibly important part of animation and illustration. Character design is like, that's all it is figure drawing with like a little imagination. So I knew once I started that program, like even our figure drawing professor, she didn't like that, like they had to wear underwear also, and she would literally recommend that we go to the neighboring college in the neighboring town to go to their free figure drawing like weekend thing. Like they would do a few hours on Saturday with like a model and like anyone could come. She would literally be like, guys, just go over there, just go to that one. Sorry, we can't do this here. She sent us to the other college for that. But I never went because I was just ended up being busy because I was working full time and going to school full time. Because I was po. I think it sounds so fun. I think I'd be kind of a boring body type for it because I don't have any curves and I'm very petite. So
What?
like I can't do the long lines of motion. I do not have boobs. I have 0 boobs. I have a butt.
But you have the other side.
Vincent's a butt guy, so that's all he cares about. But still, I just think I wouldn't be that fun to draw.
I literally have noise canceling headphones and I could not stand by this until I listened to it.
Mary, no. I think I would struggle with that. Because honestly, that's part of van life is I just don't have mirrors anymore, like at all, really. I have a little tiny face mirror that I will like, if I'm doing makeup, I'll like use that for makeup. But there's several days, like many days, where I just literally never see myself in the mirror at all. Like maybe in passing in like a public restroom or something, but I just don't see my face or my body very often. I can't remember the last time I looked in like a full-length mirror, to be honest. I don't even know. So I'm very disconnected from, I think, how I look like externally. I just know how I feel. And I feel really good. Like I feel strong and I feel like capable and I feel like beautiful and I feel like I'm really happy with my 30-year-old self. So I kind of don't want to have to take an objective look at how I look because I don't want that to go away. I'm so used to just having my own mind's eye of like who I am. And I think having to see me, especially from other people's points of view, would probably shatter that a little bit. Is that weird? I don't know. It's a really nice thing to not think about, though. I can tell you that. Dana, I would love to. If you ever want a really tasteful nude done of you, I got you covered. It's the sweeping curvy lines. They're so much more fun to draw. Mary, that actually does sound fun. If I had friends at the time where we could do that, I probably would have a different opinion about it. I've just never done it, so I imagine that it would be hard for me. I love drawing other people. I literally think everybody is so beautiful and amazing and unique. I think that's a gift of also art, is that you look at everything kind of more objectively and you look at it without society's lens, because the point is to like take what you see and show it to society and people instead of just like reflecting back to them what they already think. So I think everyone's bodies are amazing and beautiful. I just feel weird about mine if I look at it too long. See, Dana, I'm partially German, but I'm more British Isles. I'm Irish and Scottish and English and Welsh. Literally, like that's pretty much all of it is those 4. Let's see. I do have some of my favorite figure drawing I put on Facebook. I could show you. I don't know if you're interested in that, but I'm going to show you anyway, because this is my stream and I do what I want and we're talking about it, so I'm going to show you. Actually, because now I remember some of the ones that I liked, and I also remember a lot of the ones that I did not like. So now I kind of want to go look at them and see if they're as bad as, or as frustrating as I remember them being at the time. I don't even have the Facebook app on my iPad. I have to log in on the browser. Okay. Let's see if it'll let me. Oh, check notification. Okay, this is complicated because I have it so locked down. I get nervous about people. Facebook. Let's see. But my Facebook is just so, you know. Oh, someone's trying to log in. Yes, it's me. It is me, Emmeline. I'll see what I can find. Let's see. I have a few. I know I have a few albums from college. Man, I'm so rusty. Does anyone use Facebook anymore? I'm like never on here. I feel like I'm rusty and like navigating it. I don't know where to find anything. Let's see. I look back at, I have like some stuff that I had in my portfolio that I submitted for the programs, and I can't believe they let me in. It's pretty rough. Let's see. Preview. 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 Yeah, it was a lot of, this is when I was like, Dana, please come be a model, because this is the kind of like so many 20-year-old boys that are just, and they just want to sit there. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do like cool posing and like interesting. It's just so uninteresting. Oh man, it killed me. Like, okay. Fun. Sitting and staring off into space. So fun. Literally every single one of these, like this is what we got. This is what we had to work with. I added the nipples. They didn't exist. I made those up because they didn't have. This is what we actually got to draw. That right there. I hated it. Rough. I liked some of this was something I drew from, we were like doing stuff based on masters, so this one I drew in charcoal and I really liked that one. That was like one of my final projects for my figure drawing class. That one's nice. If you like naked people, Dana, there's plenty of that. Let's see. I don't have that much in here. I have sketchbooks and sketchbooks and sketchbooks, you know, stored. Some painted feet. Very exciting. Purple feet. I don't know why I chose purple. I was bored, I think. I don't know. Otherwise, I just did a lot of pencil. I did a lot of pencil when I was younger. So much pencil. Boring pencil, too. Like, not fun pencil. BYU had this whole museum. A taxidermy, like, nature museum, little museum on campus. So we used to go take a, like in one of my drawing classes, we used to go take a field trip over to that little museum every once in a while to like just go draw animals, which was kind of fun. There's some really, really not well done taxidermy animals in there that were really funny to draw. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, boring, right? Like those poses, I'm looking at it now and like, holy moly, it could not have been more bland. I need to find my old figure drawing from like New York pre-college because it's probably better. Because we had all kinds of models, like all different kinds of people would come to the Art Students League because it was Student Arts League, Art Students League. I can never remember which one it is. But it was in the middle of the city, so you just had a really good group of people that would show up for being models. Dana, glad I can entertain you in the middle of the stormy weather. No, Mary, I spent thousands of dollars in college tuition to learn how to draw like that, and then I got nothing from it. So, was it worth it? I don't know. But I've also done it my entire life. So, don't judge yourself against me, because unless you decided that you were going to be an artist when you were literally like 5 years old, like I did, and that's all you did forever in every single school you went to and every single grade year, that's all you did was art classes. Then you're allowed to judge and compare, but otherwise no, you're not allowed. Because art is literally just practice, and people who are better is because they literally eat, sleep, and breathe it. And that's one reason I don't have a real style or anything, because I haven't been willing to spend that kind of time. But I think I'm ready. Like, I feel ready. I think now that I have like this platform and I have my Etsy shop where I can like do print on demand stuff, and I have, you know, an Instagram account, a TikTok, and whatever else. I just feel like now is a good time to maybe start doing more of it. Let's see. Maybe it is time for me to jump back in. I just really need to get more comfy with digital art. It's so difficult to do for me. I'm so it just feels so unnatural compared to, you know, traditional. I didn't get far enough into my college education to do the digital drawing classes. So I didn't get any education on that, and I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. Watching a lot of YouTube videos lately. I did find a few illustrators that I love on YouTube that I hadn't discovered before. One of them's her name's Jess Karp. It's her portraiture especially is like so beautiful and dynamic. It's like it's not cartoony, it's illustrative, but it's like incredibly like emotion, and I'm still trying to put this in here. I'm gonna turn it over. It's just like it's kind of amazing. I watched a video of hers the other day and I was like, I want to do portraits like that. She's really good. There's a few others. Sandoz art is like, you know, he's massive, but I really like his style. I don't like that he draws the same kinds of faces over and over again. I think it's boring. But I understand he has like a shtick now that he has made probably lots of money off of with his thriving YouTube channel, so I don't judge him for that, but I like his like kind of looser style. I just would like to see more different kinds of models that he could use. References. He uses the same one every single time. Let's see, I'll show you Jess Karp. I love her. I'm gonna put this on big screen. I should have shown you all of that on big screen. Sorry. I made it little on accident because I wasn't paying attention. Jess Karp is like goals though. She's so talented. Let me see. I'll put up the video that I just watched the other day. It's literally just like colored pencil. A colored pencil sketch like portrait. And it is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Maybe not. I'm talking it up way too much. But she's just like, her style is so like, I just think it's beautiful. And dynamic. It's the way that she uses lines. It's the force method, truly. It's lines that show like direction and give things depth. It's what it is. But she's very much worth watching. Let's see. I'll show you like her end result of her. Let's see. Here's the end of her video. She doesn't have like a good still of it. Okay, Mary, I'll look in a sec. Here. Like, are you kidding me? Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life? Like, the hair and the... Oh my gosh. It's just beautiful. And it's really closely based on the reference, but it just, like, is, like, the right things are just exaggerated just a little bit. Like, it's amazing. And she just did it, like, all on camera. Let me see. Here's the original reference that she used. I was like, I have to watch every single one of her videos. She's so good. So that's who I'm currently obsessed with, is her. It's just so beautiful. Okay, let me look in the Discord. Oh, it's on mine. I forgot I had it up on my iPad. Because I was looking at my pattern and now I've been talking. As I do every single week. Let's see. Discord. Excellent. Spoiler. Hey, those are great. Oh yeah, no, those are excellent. You have good proportions. Like, you got proportions down. I think that the Force book is perfect for you because, like, you kind of need to understand a little bit about, like, the shape and, like, where things go on the body, which you totally have down. And then Force is what makes it, like, alive, I think. That's what it did for me. So, I think you'll love it. You're at the perfect stage for that, I think. Yeah. You're good. No comparing. You're great. Okay, we're back. Back to stitching. Officially. Yeah, Mary's beautiful. I'm obsessed. It's not super helpful for portraiture because it's like kind of whole body. But I think Loomis method is better for that, and then it's just finding your own style. I think portraits are just, they're kind of intense. It's an intense thing to learn. I need to actually finish. I need to take some of those figure drawings and like actually turn them into real drawings. That's my hard thing is like, I think they look better as figure drawings than they do like finalized. They look less fun when they have all the details added. So I need to kind of translate the figure drawing that I love so much into the rest of it. Daniel, what are you up to? Are you doing anything fun? I have to start paying attention to this because I'm up to the point that I know without looking on this color of my thread. And it's about to change. Calculus. Gross. I never took calculus. I actually didn't make it past algebra 2. I was the last year of like in like our school district. My year was the last year that we only needed 3 math credits to graduate. And before I was at that school where I graduated, I was in a school where you could take a year ahead. So in like if you're taking like 3 years of math, like 9th, 10th, 11th, or 10th, 11th, 12th. And I did it 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. So I quite literally did not take a math class in high school past 10th grade. Algebra 2. I am not a math girly. Give me photography, give me mythology, give me psychology. I loved those classes. English, I was good in English. But math? Nope. Physics either. I literally just cheated off of the seniors in class that entire time I was in physics. Daniel got his game fully funded for print. Did you already ordered it, right? I think I saw that text from you. Because that's really fun. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm like determined to actually make progress on this tonight. I did a little bit of it earlier because I decided to film some of it. I was thinking maybe I do like a stitch and bitch or something. Talk while I stitch. I feel like people do that. If that's a bad idea, tell me. We're workshopping. But I've been filming it as I go for that, except obviously when I'm live streaming. So I have been working on it here and there, but I'm kind of sick of this pattern already. Oh, wait. Oh, your like 8-bit game? It's not really 8-bit. It just looks like it. Daniel's original funding goal was $100, and then what did you get? 180? 170? Yeah, he ended up way above his funding goal. And then I'm gonna brag about you, Daniel. Then my stepdad posted a letter on our family group chat, and Daniel made the dean's list. So Daniel's killing it. Can't remember what you made the dean's list for, but I know you made it. I'm gonna look it up.
He's doing it. Like trying to get there.
It's too early, Goozy.
It's too early.
It's not time yet.
It's literally straddled over my leg, just like.
Incredible. Let's see. College of Computational, Mathematical, and Physical Sciences. That's what you are doing. Very fun. Daniel, that's so rude. Dana, it's never too late. You can remake yourself as many times as you want. Look at me. How many lives have I lived? I say do it however you want. I feel like I'm just coming around to my original. Like I said, art's been the only thing that I ever wanted to do. But then I lived in New York and loved being like a city girl, and working in an office was really fun for a while. And then I loved being a French girl and living in France and having a slow provincial life. And then now I love being a van lifer and like all of the stuff that brings with it. And through it all, art keeps coming back around. But I'm finally coming to like where I'm actually getting paid for art, which is cool. That's been a really long time coming. I'm really excited to design all my needle minders. I have a few done now that are so cute and I cannot wait to make them. We just need a little more spending cash. This year's been so tight just with Vincent's kind of group classes fizzling out. Which we did not plan on. That wasn't in our plans for this year. Dana. Well, Dana, you're younger than me, so what does that mean for me? Answer me that. I'm kind of jealous. 28 was a great year for me, so enjoy that. That was my golden year, because my birthday is June 28th. My nose is so runny. It's a little bit chillier outside, and my nose just literally will not stop running. 24 has been rough. 24 was not fun for me either. I did not love 24. It's like, I feel like it still feels like your young 20s, but you've been doing it long enough that it's not exciting anymore. But then, like, you don't feel, I didn't feel, like, mature or, like I knew what I was doing yet at all. I just felt tired. That's what I felt like when I was 24. I remember specifically just being like, this is not so fun anymore. Now this just feels like adulting, but I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't think you ever... I was talking to my mom about this one time. She's 55, and I was talking to her about it. Once I hit my 20s, I was kind of just thinking through, like, the years just go by so freaking fast. They go by faster and faster and faster. And I feel like you learn less each year than you do, like, as a kid. You're just, like, constantly learning new things. Like, in just every area of life, you're learning how the world works and how people work. And then you have all your school stuff. And then you were learning about family dynamics. And, like, you're just learning so much all the time as a kid. And as an adult, you just, like, you really have to seek out learning. And you're just kind of, like, the years just go by fast. And every day is busy. But, like, there's, like, less to, like really separate it out and, like, remember each thing. And, like, it just feels, I don't like it. I was talking to my mom about that one time when I was in my earlier 20s, and I was like, I just feel like I'm still 18. I just, like, I have a little bit more life experience, but I still just feel like all the same. I don't feel like I've changed at all. And she's like, yep, welcome to adulthood. Like, I am 55 and I still feel like I'm 18 in my, like, I still am my 18-year-old self inside. I just have more experience on how to deal with hard things. Like, it's just experience, but it doesn't change, like, how you feel or your personality. And I was like, wow, great. You go, Mary. I've never really had a grown-up job. I've done not fun jobs, but I've never had, like, a real career grown-up job ever. I think that's not something I'm good at. The longest grown-up-y job I had was 5 years at insurance billing, which was not fun. I only lasted 5 years because I could work from home. So I had, like, a little bit more flexibility, but that was a hard job. I never want to do it again. Danielle, I bet by the time that you're a grandpa, you're just gonna have a whole closet full of games that you made. You're gonna be like Grandpa Beck. And it's just gonna be like a family business. And not just, like, board games, but, like, all kinds of games. I feel like you're gonna end up being, like, doing video games too. Which is really cool. There's so many cool things happening in video games right now. Speaking of video games, are remastering Horizon Zero Dawn. I've never wanted a PS5 so badly. Because it looks amazing. I don't know if any of you guys have played that. Besides, well, Daniel, you would know about it. But they're like redoing Aloy with the character model from Forbidden West. Which is cool. You're the new model of Grandpa Beck. Just make sure to include Grandma's recipes in every game. Let's see. Do you want to do, like, big video game design, Daniel? I just feel like you'd have so much fun with it. There's so many different, like things like Stardew Valley that have just become so massive. I know Stardew Valley is made by one person, but, like, that style of game is so popular and fun. You could do some really cool things with different studios. More of an indie. So you're a literal Stardew Valley guy. I hope you have as much success as he does. You deserve it. I'm your #1 fan. Okay, I actually don't need to worry about this for a long time. I think I'm gonna go around and do the outline of this cloud so that I don't have to think. I can just fill it in as quickly as possible. I feel like I have a cat hair. Anyone with cats get that? You just like your face itches and you know it's a cat hair, but like you can't find it. Terrible. Like to make games alone with a small team. That's why I'm pursuing that as your main job. Sounds fun. You will be a good software engineer. Software engineers are just so much more boring. Ooh, what if you did software engineer design for video game design? Making the tools that makers use to make things is a very lucrative business. I think that sounds so fun, actually, to like be a software designer for like game engines and stuff. Would you want to do that? Because that sounds creative. I just don't want you to like slowly die in an office somewhere doing boring like GitHub work or something. You deserve more than that. At that point, you just want to make games your job? I think you should just pursue it. There's so many different avenues and it's so lucrative and it's a huge industry. There's so many different ways that you can have that like be quote unquote your main job, but also not like, you know, be the designer of the game. That's cool. See? I think that sounds so amazing. You just need to publicize it so that people can find it easier whenever you feel like it's ready, which, secret hint, as a creative person, it's never going to feel ready to you. At some point, you just have to be like, okay, it's good enough. And put it out. There's always things we can keep doing forever and ever, and then we'll just die in front of our metaphorical easels with no one ever seeing our work that we do. Emphasis in digital animation. I love it. You should do it. Digital animation, like the whole animation program at BYU is just like, those students are so highly sought after as artists. It's like the BYU program for that especially, I think is a great place to be for that kind of work. Mary, definitely sell it. I'm telling you, just put it out. I get pretty much all 5-star reviews on all of my patterns, and I make several sales a week on patterns almost every day. So I remember I spent so much, just endless amounts of time on like the first ones that I did, and now I can like pop out a pattern in a day. But I remember it being so scary when I was first starting because I did feel like it needed to be perfect, because I just felt like the patterns that I was seeing other people make were like so intense. But I've only gotten positive feedback, so that's really helped my self-esteem, making me feel like it's worth my time. I can help you, Mary, if you want to. I am not a gatekeeper when it comes to helpful things. I actually, on my list of videos to make that I've been putting off, now the van tour's done, I can do it. But I've been wanting to make a video about how I make cross-stitch patterns, so maybe I should just make a whole YouTube video about it, and then you can see all my process. See, Daniel, that's so true. Because you just literally have that to submit as like, here's what I can do. That's one reason I think I got into the BYU illustration program first time, because I wasn't taking any illustration classes. My whole first semester at BYU, I just drew a lot. And so I just submitted like an entire sketchbook's worth of drawing. And I got into that program first try, and there were a lot of other people that were in my other classes that wanted to be in that program, and they did not make it. So having real like work that you've just done on your own is, I think, a really good thing. Cute. Yeah, you should do that right now because people are buying up Halloween patterns a lot right now. I think I've had 2 or 3 pattern sales for Halloween stuff in the last day. I finally got the first couple sales on my We All Get Some Kind of Haunted pattern. So that was fun. I've been wondering if anyone would pick up on that because it's kind of a very vague Taylor reference and it's kind of specific, but I did get a couple. I got a 5-star review on it, so I think that one's good to go. So I know people are buying them. Even obscure ones. So and yours is much more like yours will hit a much broader audience than most of mine do. That's my main issue is I'm so fandom specific. Mary, if you don't want to spend money on a software either, you can always use stitchfiddle.com. That's how I did all of my early patterns. I just literally this year went back and like remastered them with my new software. But if you want to spend $0, Stitchfiddle is free. And it works great for exporting patterns, which is like what needs to happen for pattern design. It works just fine. You can select like PNGs or JPEGs, or I think they have a PDF option too for how you want to have your pattern exported. And then you just build your own PDF on Microsoft Word or Adobe Acrobat or whatever. That's really it. I think the hardest part is the marketing part, like the part like actually posting it and like making it like a nice thumbnail image and a nice title and description. That's the hard part, I think, of all of it. But especially while you're like still looking for like a more permanent gig, you're creative. Do some creative stuff. Maybe it can become a side hustle that can become a job instead of another job. I think everyone can make money online, truly. It's a lot of work, but it is fun and there's a lot of freedom in it for sure. Do it. There's I think that some of the like cross stitch, like the Reddit forums, some of them have like self-promotion days too. That's a fun place to post stuff that you just want to share. You could honestly like post it there and get some test stitchers for it if you wanted to, and then you'd have like several fun like versions to show in like an Etsy listing or something, which I would recommend Etsy for if you're going to post it anywhere, because Etsy's pretty much free to open a little shop. And their search algorithms already all figured out SEO friendly. So you just save a lot of time in trying to figure out all of that. Ooh, Mary, sew it on your jean jacket and then take some really good shots of it with the jean jacket. That would make a really good thumbnail. Wearables are always more enticing, and even if they're just getting the pattern, it's the showing the customer what they can do with the product kind of a thing. Sorry, I'm like almost off the screen. Oh, I need to stop this thread anyway. It's time for a new one. Let's see. I really like using these 3 strands though. I think it looks so cute. I think it's a better texture. Excellent, I'm gonna look. Thank God for Discord. Cute! Yeah, that would totally sell. That would absolutely sell. That's super cute. I want to make that. You should absolutely post that. Okay, there we go. You should do it. And I do everything. I just make all my thumbnails and stuff in Canva. Canva and Stitchfiddle is how I did it for all my early patterns. I still make all of my marketing stuff in Canva because it's easy and then you can save it and just duplicate it for other patterns. It makes it a lot quicker. They have so much stuff. Totally. You're just so creative. Like, you do so much fun stuff on the side, which is what I've always done also. And, you know, it's a lot of work to get it up and running, and you can't support yourself on an income for this stuff unless you really put in thousands of hours of work, I think. I'm not there yet on being able to support myself with it. But it's just so good for all of us, I think, to have, like, if we have outlets that we love, I think there's something really fun about being able to share it with other people and also getting paid for it. Like, I'm not too proud to say I like getting paid for stuff I put work into. I think that it makes it more worth it if you know that you get to post it somewhere and like share it with people and watch other people love it too. I don't know. I find that that's a good motivation for me. Maybe I'm also just a social person, so maybe I just like maybe I like the feedback. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. I get that. That's how I've always been too. So I was like, it's just a hobby. Not anymore. Yeah, I like just committed to posting a pattern a week for the last half of 2023. I ended up with like almost 30 patterns by the end of 2023. And that was all I did was that. And then I started making needle minders also. A little bit deeper into it. But patterns, that was the thing that really got me going, was just like pattern a week. If I just get my pattern out this week. Get my Etsy shop like moving too. Ugh, that's gross. I hate paying for education. It's like, we're getting an education so that we can make money. We can't afford to pay it yet. Thank you though. College should be free. I'm still paying off. I still have about $3,000 in student loans. Right now they're forbeared since COVID and Biden tried to get some student debt forgiveness, which did not end up passing in Congress, but he's just put forbearances on everything. So I haven't had to pay anything for like a year. It's just been sitting there in the account, but I still owe $3,000. And I've already paid off $6,000. And then I also had like $14,000 on credit cards from all my college living, because that's all I could do was put it on a credit card for my car breaking down and like a bunch of other stuff. And I didn't get anything for it. If I'd stayed in school, it would have been better, but I did not, so it was just a waste of money. Hey, I'm making so much more progress this week than last week. Last week I felt like I was like such a chatterbox. I did not get anything done. I just sat here. I think it's because my muscles were still hurting more, so it felt like I wanted to take it a little bit easier. Goose. Hi, baby. Goosey. Are you coming to mommy? Are you coming to mom because daddy didn't give you food? Come here. Yes, hello. Are you hungry? Is that what it is? Are you so hungry? Like, didn't like that. Don't bite my screen. Don't do it. It's not worth it. We usually feed them their last meal around 9 o'clock. Because they get kibble first thing in the morning, and then they split a can of wet food, a big can of wet food. In like at 2 o'clock, and then we feed them again at 9. But Goose is just he's bouncing back and forth between us. I don't like this music. Jazz is it kind of irritates me sometimes. It's too much.
He's fully perched on my leg, just rubbing himself all over me.
He's doing his very best.
But I'm cute. I deserve food.
Goose. Goose. Are you hungry? He goes,
Good. You hungry?
Gremlin behavior.
Well, you started purring now. You want food?
It's because he knows we understand. He's like, finally. I've been yelling it and yelling it.
Are you so you starving, bud?
Oh,
Baby.
Dana, that's so cute.
Hungry?
I love that Earl just doesn't exist to Bob. Earl's just a non-entity. It's just Goose. He just loves
What?
Goose. That is hilarious to me.
Dana, you cracked me up the first time you told us, like, the first time Bob's actually saw geese.
Oh.
He was just, wait, but that's not a goose.
Confused him forever. He thinks they are both Goose.
Are you
That's
guys hungry?
I love it.
Alright, I'll feed you.
So we're taking care of my aunt and uncle's cats. They're going to France for 2 weeks, October 8th. So we're gonna hang out around their house, and take care of their cats while they're gone. And their cats are so funny. My aunt's had she's had cats ever since she was young. They were in their 70s. They had Stanley and Stella were the cats that I grew up with at their house. Stanley lived to 16. So they were old cats. And all through my childhood, I especially Stanley, I loved Stanley. But anyway, they have 2 new cats now. After Stanley and Stella passed, they got 2 more cats. And these cats, yeah, Dana, they live in Carlsbad, where we are right now. They're the childless aunt and uncle that dote on us. My aunt worked at Time Warner, so we got boxes of books from her every year growing up. But anyway, so they got these 2 cats. They rescued them. They were I think they're 7 already. They were older when they rescued them. But these cats had been in foster care for a year and a half, and they are, so they're a little more independent and stuff already. But Carol, she's had plenty of cats, and she's a real good cat person, and she knows how cats are. So it's not, I don't think it's anything to do with how they treat them. She calls them her special needs cats because they are just so weird. They mostly just love to be under the bed all the time. It's been years. They have been in their house for years, and their favorite place is still under the bed. And they also it's Miles and Birdie, and Birdie is the girl, Miles the boy. But Miles is he is so small. He is a runty baby, and Birdie is almost as big as Goose. Birdie's probably, I would guess 13 or 14 pounds, a really big female cat. So it's so funny because it's just this big girl cat and this little tiny boy cat, and they both just they don't know how to climb in. Birdie is the only one that will go into a lap. Miles does not like to be picked up and will not go into a lap. He'll just come up and get bonks once he's comfortable. But Birdie loves to be in laps, except she doesn't know how to climb into a lap and sit down. So she just dives into you. They're really funny. So that's the special needs cats we're gonna be taking care of. Every time Carol says that, she's like, they're just so odd. They don't know how to be a cat, is what she says. They don't sleep in the bed with them. Most cats love to sleep in people in their owners' beds, but these cats do not like to sleep in the bed with them. They like to have kibble as a treat in between meals. And but at some point they get tired of the kibble, and so they'll just start and then spit it out. Just leave wet gobs of kibble around their bowl because it's just for the taste, but they didn't swallow. They just do weird stuff like that, where Carol's just these are the weirdest cats we've ever had. It cracks me up. So yeah, Miles and Birdie, we'll be taking care of them. I'm excited. Their house is beautiful. They've had the same house since I can remember. They got married, I think after I was born, but I was maybe 1 or 2. They've been married pretty much my whole life. And they've been in the same house most of that time too. It's in Carlsbad. It's off Poinsettia Avenue, just right up the street from Carlsbad State Beach. It's really close to the beach. Whenever we'd visit, we would just hop on bikes and ride down to the beach. It's it's an amazing location for SoCal, and Carlsbad in particular I think is like a beautiful little town. It's so artsy. There's a really good downtown scene and a really big farmers market every Wednesday. Lots of good nightlife. Like it's just like a beautiful place. We like hanging out here. But yeah, their house is so fun. It's on top of a hill overlooking, like you can see the ocean from on top of the hill, and so like they don't have any backyard neighbors. It's just literally like field of like the densest greenery, and then they have the view of the ocean, so it's just really scenic, and their backyard has always been so beautifully done up. Like they've spent so much time on their backyard making it really beautiful. They have like a fire pit and they grill out there all the time, so they've invited us over for grilling quite a bit. And then the house is like a 1-story house, and it's just got like a really great open layout and 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, so it's just like a nice size. Every time when we and Vincent are over there, we're like, this is like exactly the kind of place that we would like to end up in. Obviously, it'll never be as close to the beach because their house is probably worth so much more than they paid for it now. But it is kind of idyllic. So I'm excited to hang out there for 2 weeks alone. It'll be fun. We'll just kind of play house. We'll still like sleep with our cats, and I'll probably spend a lot more time in the van, but it'll be good for Vincent to just be able to teach in the house. And then he can hang out with the cats in the house. We'll kind of tag team it. Mary, I wish I could send my cats to you through the computer, but I can't. Sometimes I want a break. They're so high maintenance. They're like toddlers. Goose. Are you better now? Yeah. They're just goofy, silly little babies. Okay. We're making progress. Slow progress, but progress. What else do I want to draw? Should I show you my Pinterest board all the art that I love so much? You can see what style I like that I just need to start practicing. Grant will die to see them. Yeah. Oh, like here as in the chat? I don't think you can. But you can be if you're on Discord. Do it on the Discord. That's where we all send stuff. Okay, well, Dana, FaceTime me and I can show them. We can have a little cat show and tell. What are you sending? I want to know. I want to see. That's really cute. My cats would probably hate it. They'd be like, get off me. No, just kidding. They're pretty patient, actually. When we lived at my grandma's house the year that we were building the van, they had, every time like the great-grandkids would come over, they were pretty patient. They would just run into our bedroom if they decided they were done. Let's see. Oh, my back hurts. Too hunched over. Let's see. Accent. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys, should we do another watch-a-thon? I would be down to watch Twilight again. I haven't watched it in a long time. I've kind of been putting it off until it really felt like fall. So I think it'd be fun to do that. I think we could do it on Discord again. I think that's what we did last time. I can't remember. Aren't they, Dana? She doesn't give herself nearly enough credit. Let's see. General discussion. Oh, Dana. Grant is so cute. I love how he squats like that. He's the cutest baby. He always has been. Meow. Mary, that's literally the hardest part of drawing for everybody. That's why the Force book is so good. I think my drawings looked exactly like yours before Force, and now they're just so loose that they look different. But You have all the fundamentals down, like I said. Abso-freaking-lutely. You look exactly like a lot of the people in my first year of art school. Very similar. Let's see. Look back. I'm hunched over too much. And Dana, we can't wait to see him. We're so excited. We talk about it all the time. Let's see. Dana. Should I show what Dana just sent me? For you, she says. Vincent would love it. Yes, Mary, exactly. They made it in. It's fun. It's a good Halloween gift. Not that you give gifts on Halloween, but I would for that. I think Halloween for me has always been associated with my little sister because her birthday is the 25th. And one of my cousins' other birthdays is the 31st. They're like literally 6 days apart. So Halloween's always been a birthday time of year for me. Funny enough. Did you guys do like the really crazy haunted houses? I feel like they don't exist the same way anymore, but like when I was I think in junior high especially, in particular, there was this one incredibly well done and huge haunted house. They would take up like the entire parking lot of a mall on one side, and it was like a 3-parter. There would be like a spooky like a spooky like haunted hillside with like corn that you have to like run through, and there's like scarecrows and stuff. That was like one of them. And then you'd kind of like go down, you get out of the corn and like go down a hill, and then there'd be like crazy witches and stuff like with these like spindly like trees. It was so scary. And then the next section was like an inside, like a classic, like inside like a spooky, just like crazy corners and twists and turns and stuff, kind of a haunted house. You go through that one, and then the last one was like an insane asylum one, and maybe zombies in an insane asylum, I think is what it was, because there's like doctors and stuff, but like zombified. And that one was the scariest, and you'd end up like we did it a couple of years in a row. At the end of that one, you get out and you think it's over, and it's not over, because there's like all these people like go like it's like you're evacuating, like you're trying to get away, and they make you run through this bus, and then there's like like creatures coming in through the windows of the bus, and then like you have to get out of the haunted house, like the haunted area, you have to get through the bus, like run all the way through. It's like a school bus all the way through to like the outside. So scary. So we love to do that. Like I used to be a lot braver than I am now. I get too scared now. But when I was in junior high, we did that big 3-parter. It was a little different every year, but like that was my favorite one. Funny enough, the thing I remember most from it is the in the corn maze part, the guy that I liked, he held my hand. Except then I noticed that he also held another girl's hand at the same time. I was offended. I was like, well, I guess he didn't care about me. That's what I remember most. Was that moment where I looked over and I'm like, ooh, Mary, that sounds fun. Because where you are, it's probably a lot colder in October, I would guess. In Arizona, it was you were lucky if you got to wear a sweater on Halloween. Usually it was too hot. You couldn't wear layers. Like it's too hot for layers. That's so fun. I could never be scary. I'd feel too guilty. Sorry. Are you okay? I could not do it. Mary. Vincent. Mary says, when I was helping to set up a haunted house, I body checked a guy for fun and light flirtation, and he seemed impressed and said I should do rugby. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's hilarious. It's hard to tell if that's like an actual like a compliment or not, coming from like a teenage boy. Well, were you a teenager at the time? If you were, then it's just he probably was trying to compliment you. It's so funny. I'm really sorry that happened. Oh, that's hilarious. I had so many terrible things happen with boys when I was younger. Oh man, boys were so hard for me. I think I just wasn't like I wasn't like the typical girl at the time. I always had like shorter hair and I was really petite on top of that. And it's like I always felt like a little bit more like pudgy compared to all the girls who like shot up in height. I just didn't. I still had all my like baby fat. And so I just like I didn't look the same in the skinny jeans. And because my hair was short, I just always felt like a little too severe in some way. Like I just felt like I didn't fit in with the other girls. And then I was like really artsy and um I had really big dreams that like boys did not want to talk about. They didn't care about my big dreams. So I really struggled. All through high school I struggled. Um so I had a lot. I think I just really struggled to understand like boys' motives and like how to be flirty and like cute and like approachable. Like, there's so many guys that I found out later had a crush on me during school that never said anything. I think because they were scared of me. I just like made myself so unavailable on accident because I was just shy and anxious and stressed about it all the time and then feeling bad about myself. So like I wouldn't have believed them if they said anything anyway. But it was so stupid. He said it like a compliment. Grade 9. That's such a hard man. 14 is the hardest age. I never want to be 14 again. Luckily, I never will be. But like, I just don't. Don't take me back there, please. See, Mary, I thought I had a lot happening with boys until I found out what all my friends were doing with boys, and then I was like, wow, I'm a nun. I'm a literal nun. Oh, man. The most I did was hold hands with boys until I was 16. I got my first kiss at 16. It was very Mormon of me. Oh, Mary. Ugh, kissing's overrated. It just makes things more complicated. Only kiss the boy you're gonna marry. If you want to get married. That is not a requirement. Vince and I talk all the time. Like, we wish we didn't get married. We could have waited forever. Like, it would have been fine. It would have been fun to date for a long time. Daniel. Daniel, have you kissed any girls? Dana and I both had a similar track with boys. Pretty much went wild at 18, and none of it was good. All of it was bad.
I just popped in on the chat and I just see Danny. I haven't kissed any boys. Like, peak Danny.
Yeah, Mary, I'm happy. I'm happy for you that you've had a kiss, but also it's totally fine to avoid it. Even if it's not by choice. Like, it's fine. I regret all the guys I kissed. I didn't mean anything. Daniel's very popular with the ladies. Dawson didn't get his first kiss till college. Our brother, who's a few years older, than Daniel. He's 20. Dawson 23 now? 22? He must be 23 because I'm 30. And he's 7 years younger than me. Dawson's first kiss literally was just like a bunch of girls at night were like, Dawson, you've never been kissed? They were all hanging out in college. And so all the girls kissed him, like right in a row. He told my mom. My mom is just like, are you kidding me? She's like, why, Dawson? Yeah. I only kissed at my first kiss. I'll tell. Do you want to hear my first kiss story? It's horrendous. It's the worst. Dana, you've probably heard it, but man, it's bad. Mary, that's so relatable. That's incredibly relatable. Yeah, Dana, the gay boyfriend that's rough. That's a pretty rough one. Tongue, nice. I'm having a really hard time getting this threaded. I just keep missing the mark. Gotta put the music back on too. 5 to 7 minutes is good. That's a long time. Get a little lip workout in. Let's put it back on. Okay, my first kiss is a lot less exciting than 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, I'll tell you. I had just turned 16. I turned 16 this summer before junior year of high school. And so in Mormon culture, especially when we were younger, I think it's relaxed a little bit now, but it was like no dating, no kissing, nothing until after you're 16. And even then only group dates. So like we were under lock and key. Like I did not break those rules. The most I ever did was like hold hands with boys. And which is why I never had a boyfriend when I was younger. Because all my friends were kissing them. But anyway, so it was after my 16th birthday, school had just started again because I turned 16 in June and then school started in August. And everyone was figuring out homecoming because homecoming was coming up. And that's usually boy ass girl. Homecoming is boy ass girl, right? I'm pretty sure. And so I had technically like a boyfriend at the time that like we would all hang out together. His name was Brad, and he did martial arts. He had a rockin' bod, but he also had been held back twice. So I was technically dating an 18-year-old, but he was in my grade. He just really struggled in school. He played football. He did martial arts. His name was Brad. And maybe I'll look him up on Facebook. I'll show you what he looked like for context. So we were all hanging out together with me and like the few friends that I had started making at school, mostly my cousins, honestly. Me and my cousins and Brad and most of the people I knew at the time, we had all gone to like a charter school together. And then I had moved around high schools, but like Brad and my cousins had stayed at the charter school. So, see, I have to remember his last name. Brad. I can't remember actually. Maybe I can't find him if I can't remember his name. Let's see. He has a little sister who for sure has social media. I think that she's had probably a more successful life because he struggles. I think I'm friends. I must be friends with him. I'm gonna look him up on my cousins. My cousins will still be friends with him. Anyway, so my friends, like, we were all getting dropped off at night after hanging out, and we just held hands and stuff, but he kept doing the finger rubbing thing where like that they want to kiss. So they're all like, get out and walk her to the door. So he gets out and walks me to the door, and then my friends just drive away. They just leave me there. They abandon me alone with a boy who now can't leave. He just has to wait for them to go around the block and come back. So I was just like, it's happening. Oh no, it's happening. It's happening. I was panicking. So he walks me to the door, and then we stop and we look at each other, and then he kisses me, and it's very wet, and I was just like, okay, this is what it's like, okay. And then he pulls away, and he goes, hey, just so you know, I can't take you to homecoming because this other girl already asked me. And I said yes. And I was just like, okay, great, thank you for that. I was like devastated. Oh man, I was so sad at the time. Oh, found him. Now I'm glad because, okay. This is him now. Wow. I haven't seen him in a decade. So fun. I think he smokes a lot of pot. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so apparently his little sister had a friend who had a crush on him, and this girl was annoying. Like we had all gone to school together. I knew her. She was annoying. I knew that she liked Brad. And let me see. I don't think I can see any. I don't think we're friends anymore, so I can't see any old pictures. Maybe I can find his sisters. Maybe there'll be pictures from hers. I can't remember. I think her name's Sayla. I think that's her name, Sayla Sutton. Anyway, so yeah, I was devastated, and I ended up going with my cousin and his friend to homecoming. My cousin asked one of my friends, and I went with him and his friend. Not even to my own school's homecoming because they still went to another school. So I just went to the other school's homecoming instead of my own homecoming because Brad screwed me over. It was terrible. I was so sad and just offended, quite frankly, that he would say yes to another girl. Yeah, Mary, he probably is. I literally know nothing about him now. Obviously, I'm not even friends with him on Facebook, so I don't know what's going on with him. Sayla? Yes, I am friends with her. I knew it! Their family has the strongest genetics. She and her brother looked so much alike in their whole lives. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna scroll way back, a decade back. Okay, Dana, good luck. I wish you all of the best. Let me know.
Oh, Dana. 11 a.m. okay?
11 a.m. okay, Dana? Respond to the chat about the French lessons. Here was him at Sayla's wedding. That's closer to what he looked like in high school. He was cute. He was short and, like, strong. I wish he strong fences, Mary. Yeah, Sana says yes. Should be as long as I have not blown away.
Sounds good.
Oh my gosh. Let me see. Yeah, that was basically him. You know what? I think I actually have old pictures with him, maybe. I just realized if I scroll way, way back. Okay, Mary, I want to hear your story because that's my first kiss. It's pretty rough. But I think everyone has stories like that. That's true, Mary. You kind of do. You don't have great weather over there. I have a lot of pictures. Too many pictures, in fact. I think I have pictures from like my junior high days. Which is what he would be in. I do indeed. Okay. Found past my 16th birthday. Let's see if I still have any on my Facebook. Now I'm curious. Okay, so first kiss, the guy didn't believe that I'd never kissed anyone before, despite the fact that I already told him that. I only missed out the fact. Why do people never believe? It's annoying. So he was sublimely expecting me to know how to kiss. Isn't it weird how, like, you don't want to think it's a skill, but it's kind of a skill. And it's not an easy skill to learn. It requires a willing partner. Oh no. That's rough. Okay, I don't think I have, maybe I don't have any pictures with him. I have pictures of other people in junior high. Here. Me, in junior high, in our little school uniforms, because we went to a constitutional, conservative, Christian charter school. Mostly Mormons. It was a bit, but I was lost in it, and after a while of me trying to figure out what to do, I outright stopped and laid my hand and just said out loud. I was like, nothing. Oh, that's so funny. But honestly, that is a lot of the time what it is like. Even like Vince and I, it's not always fun to make out. Sometimes it's just messy. And I'd rather do other things sometimes. He's laughing at me. Well, you know, like, it's a commitment. It's a whole body experience. And it's sometimes, it's just like, I just don't have the energy for this. It's a lot of work. It's not like that. Yeah, I mean, he's right for sure. He's probably like, wow, I am the shittiest kisser. I wonder if he will ever recover. from making a girl feel absolutely nothing. That's hilarious.
I'm reading the story.
Oh yeah.
Guy was probably obliterated.
Maybe he needed to keep going so he could redeem himself. He was like, well, now I gotta fix this. Okay, good. You got another one. Was it any better the second time? Okay, good. It's so funny. Tonguing like sometimes a little bit, but sometimes it's just like it's like too much. It's very intense. So I like it in small amounts. That's one thing that's really ruined Fourth Wing for Vincent. I accidentally pointed it out to him in Fourth Wing. Like every kissing scene, they're like their tongues swirl in each other's mouths, and their tongues tease each other's mouths open, and
I am
tongues.
literally from the land of French kissing, okay?
Yeah, Vincent's from the land of French kissing, and it's too much for him. So every time we listen to the books, we're just like kind of laugh along because it's just bad. It's too much tongue. Very. It's kind of true. It's just I think I maybe just I've never quite figured it out. Maybe, or maybe I've had too many experiences as a teenager making out, and like, you know, teenage boys don't prepare for like kissing the same way that like a adult would necessarily. So you just never know what you're gonna get, and sometimes it's just like not good. Hey, maybe tongue can be a thing. Plenty of people love tongue. I'm just not one of them. I think because I start to feel like I'm suffocating a little bit. Because my nose is pretty much always stuffy and runny. That's just how I'm built. I pretty much have never not had a stuffy nose. Vincent can tell you.
Yep.
I don't think there's been a day in my life that has gone by without me using tissues. So for me, having my mouth fully filled with another person's tongue, it just is not as fun of an experience when you can't breathe through your nose very good. Oh, Daniel, gross. No. That's not your responsibility. It's their responsibility to brush their own teeth before the kiss. It's disgusting. Mary. Ew, Daniel, stop it. I will puke on you if you keep talking about that. I will tell you, the next guy that I kissed, senior year, his name was Reed. He ended up getting a girl pregnant our senior year of high school later on that year. So he became a daddy very early on in his life. But he was my next kind of like kiss, local kiss at least. I know. And he worked at Jamba Juice, which was so cool back then. It was so cool he worked at Jamba Juice. Yeah, R-E-I-D. I'll find him. He was like the straight up cutest little like cool emo boy. He had a tattoo of a fish on his armpit because he told a sushi restaurant he's gonna get that tattooed, and they're like, if you get that tattooed, then you will get free sushi. And so he went and did it. Reed Beal is his name. But anyway, so he was like my next kiss. He worked at Jamba Juice, and I was like, that's so cool. And he's like, and one time we had just like started hanging out a little bit, and he's like, come over to my house. I could like bike or longboard there. I can't remember if I biked or longboarded, but I could make my way there, so I did. And he had gotten off work recently, and the whole time that we were kissing, he kept like stopping to burp. Burping grosses me out, and it was bad because it was like at one point he goes, sorry, I had a wheatgrass smoothie earlier. And I was just like, literally end me right now. Like, I cannot with this. I was dying inside, very much so. Here, this was the picture where I was like, I must kiss Reed. That was the picture that was high school. Oh yeah. I was like, until I had to experience wheatgrass smoothie. And then I was donezo. Oh, Mary, it's not the best feeling. Even if things like don't work out, like you end up in a relationship, but like it's just nice to feel wanted. I think it is. I try to take that for what it's worth sometimes. Like if I start to feel guilty or something, it's like, no. We're just lovely, desirable people. It's fine. Mary, he'll always be attracted to you. You don't stop being attracted to someone. Honestly, even if you hate them, you still acknowledge that they're attractive. I'm sure he is. Yeah, so those were my high school kissing experiences. Not great. Not so fun. The only other guy that I was close with at all in high school was in Utah. We had known each other in junior high, and he had a crush on me for forever. And we started dating long distance. So he came down once or twice during the school year. And then for Christmas, my senior year, he bought me a plane ticket to go up to visit him. And he literally picked me up with his parents at the airport. And I sat in between his little siblings in the backseat of their van all the way back up to his house. So we were pretty serious, I guess. But then he dumped me because he was starting to date another girl he was hanging out with. And I could tell. So he's like, I just want to explore my options. That was the only other guy that I kissed in high school. Yeah, Mary, friend groups are really hard. That's what ruins most high school groups, I feel like, is dating and whatever else. And it's even harder, I think, in adulthood, where it's you have to make time for your friends. It's not as built in as when you're in school. It's even if you hate each other, you're all still in the same classes every day. So you just have to kind of deal with it or get over it or talk about it or whatever. As adults, you can just never see them again if you don't want to, which makes it tricky. That's why my friend group collapsed last semester of school. It was me and 3 girls that were we were the, not duo, quattro. The 4 main girls, and then all the other people would get invited over to do whatever we were doing. I wasn't the cool one. I was just along for the ride. But then one of the girls who was really promiscuous secretly, she went behind the back of my best friend Abby in the group and hooked up with the guy that Abby had a really big crush on, and Abby was devastated. And so that ended our friend group for the rest of the school year. It was just me and Abby, and then Sam and Hannah in their own group. It was so hard. Your D&D friend group. Oh, yeah. D&D at least is a fun activity whether or not you're dating someone in the group. Oh, dang. Dang. You gotta talk about that at some point. You can't just ignore that forever. Would it be the end of the friendship if that didn't become a relationship? And would you want it to become a relationship, or do you want to keep it a friendship? Got it. So she's just still struggling to be friends, it sounds like. This is the same song I didn't like earlier. Dang, that is tricky. That's super tricky. I never even got to explore that in high school. I was only allowed to date boys. Would have been nice to get that out of my system early. Got my finger caught. Okay, this is the last. Once I'm done with this thread, I'm gonna go back to doing orange. Because I'm reaching the edge of my hoop. It's almost Stitch. So my friend's just kind of weird, except if I talk about any emotions toward anyone but her. That's hard, because, like, that's such an important part, I think, of friendship, is, like, being able to talk about relationship stuff. But if she can't handle that, then that's, like, a whole nother person you have to find that you can talk to about that stuff. That makes it tricky. Hey! If everybody's consenting, have fun. I would stay far, far away from that. I think those relationships so rarely end up being a good situation. I think it's a nice idea that people have, and so rarely does it work out. Oh, I need to stretch my leg out. There's too many cords. Mary, you just need to be less cute and cool and fun. You need to be less approachable and more scary. So that's what you gotta do. Sorry, how to make the rules. Oh, wrong end of the needle. Yeah, that's hard. Especially if he's dealing with recovering from, like, an abusive relationship. That just makes it 10 times harder. So much trickier. Because then he's got all the baggage of the old relationship. And all the unhealthy patterns. That's not fun. Like, he says you're not allowed to? Ugh. That's my favorite part. That would be an absolute no from me, just because I couldn't live without that. I love cuddling. My number one thing. Shoot. Ugh. That is tricky. That was the one, I guess, fun thing about dating as a young adult, like a Mormon young adult, is that, like, it totally happened, but, like, sex isn't, you're not supposed to. So, everybody just does everything else. And it's just a giant, like, cuddle puddle everywhere you go because everyone is so horny and nobody can do anything about it until they're married, and then they don't hang out with the same friends once they're married anyway. There's a lot of sexual tension in every single group, and it's hilarious. Like, I look back and I'm just like, none of this is good. But we got a lot of cuddle time. Ugh, Mary, I love hearing about your life. Thank you for sharing. It'll be immortalized forever in these comments. We're at a place where we can actually stay later tonight, so we're not in a rush to go either, which is nice. So I will probably stay a little bit later tonight. 9:30, 9:45. No one will. I'm not popular enough. Don't worry, you're safe. It's a 2-person comment section, so you're safe. These will never go viral.
One should get viral next week.
They'd also have to scroll 2 hours into this live stream to even find the juicy stuff. Well, just don't remind her. Daniel, all of your weird tongue comments too. You better hope no future girlfriends find those. They're gonna be like, no. Yeah, for sure. What if they're not into tongue and they think that what he said is weird on top of that? That's like a no-go. That's just oof. That's rough. That's really rough. Daniel. I guess that's a healthy way to do it. Let's see. I want this thread to be done so I can go back to the middle of the hoop because I don't like working on the edge of the hoop. Makes it harder on my neck. But I also don't want to leave this thread in here. I want to finish it. Mary, I think that's definitely something you should ask permission for before you do it. Is get permission first. This is not a better to ask for forgiveness situation. This is a ask permission situation. That's so funny. Oh, Daniel. Watch Daniel end up just like Dawson and end up kissing like 5 girls on one night. Just get it over with. Daniel, how's your job going? How's the vending machine stocking? Is it easy? I hope it's easy. Hope it's low key. I literally applied for a janitor job when I was in school because I was desperate for another job. I needed money. And they did not hire me to be a janitor. So, at least you were able to actually get a job. I wanted it because it was off hours. My art class hours were horrendous in college. All of them were either 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., like 3-hour blocks. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 3 to 6 p.m. Is horrendous. So I'd have to be at school all day until late. So I was looking for a job that had odd hours. And janitorial stuff would have been great, but never got a call. Yeah, Daniel, that's nice. I think physical labor is good when you're young because it, you know, it's the best time to like get into good habits for exercise if that's your desire, which is the healthy thing to do, I suppose. I didn't do anything like that in college, and it's really hard to start now. That's good, Daniel. Daniel, how much do you make an hour? Like, how much do they pay? I don't know what minimum wage is in Utah, but I don't also know if BYU only does minimum wage or not. When I worked at the student, like the online school stuff that I did, helping with course creation, that job paid, I think it was 9 or 10 an hour, and then I got a 50-cent raise every semester. I didn't stay. I only worked there a year, but that one was pretty good. So I don't know. I don't know what the other jobs are like. One, 2, 3. Mary, it's okay. You're safe here. This is a safe space. It's just me and Daniel. We're fun to gossip with because we have literally no one to tell. Except the entire internet in this case, but that's not real. The internet doesn't exist. You're fine. Let's see. That's true. I always see more people on here than comment. So I don't know. I never know who they are. They're just here. I hope that you're having a great night. Enjoy your crafting without chatting. Mary, you like a little violence? Just kidding. That's not violence. What would that be called? Aggressiveness? Aggression? I don't know, but I like it too. That's probably why ACOTAR works so well for me. I much prefer like hair touching and pulling to tongue. I will say that. I think it's like I like hand contact in like other ways, you know? A little variety, spice it up. Not just the only thing being like just like boring. Give me hands. Okay, we are going to 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Let me make sure I check off all my stitches the right way. Hey! $2 an hour dining credit is really nice. That's good, Danny. That's great. Mary, I'm excited for you. I think that's great. It's fun to explore. And it really... I know it probably feels awkward now, but there truly are no consequences until you get pregnant. So, you are free to explore however you want to. Which is fun and exciting. See, okay, I have to count. 4 down. Oops. I lost my needle. Mary, it's great. Those are great stories. Quality over quantity, I say. I think Vincent was... I kind of went crazy in college. Vincent was... I think I counted it up while we were dating. And Vincent was the 29th first kiss that I'd had. Not a number I'm particularly proud of.
I'm not sure if that counts as a first kiss anymore, babe.
What? What do you mean?
29 first kisses?
With different people?
No, I'm just kidding.
What do you... But they're
Think
all
about it
different
this way.
people.
It can't be a first kiss after the first one.
Yes, it's a first kiss with a new person.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. I was like, that's the last first kiss with a person I want to do. Like, I don't ever want to have to start that over again. Thanks, Mary. Mary understands me. Yeah, I like took the time. I remember in one of my journals, I like wrote down every single guy all the way down the back of one of my journals to be like, to just know. I was really glad I never hit 30. I think 30 is excessive. 30, at that point, you're just kissing to kiss. 29 is fine though. There's just so much kissing to do in college. And then I never kissed anybody else ever again. And now it's been 9 years. Well, 8 years. Actually. Oh, Colby responded. Do you wanna?
Oh, yeah. We completely forgot.
No
Oops.
big deal. It's not.
When
I don't
where?
think he's in a rush.
When and where? What should we do?
I don't. I mean, it's San Clemente, so anywhere. It depends on like, does he want to grab food or?
Sometimes just go for a beer or something.
Yeah,
Beer?
we can do that. Is there a spot that we haven't done that in San Clemente really? Maybe if they know of a brewery or something.
I just sent it already.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Mary, that's valid. I think I really struggle with dating. I like relationships. Like I'm a real like serial monogamist. I just really put all in on relationships, and so it's really hard for me if I don't have the commitment back from the person. So I had a lot of really disappointing kisses that I was hopeful would turn into something in college, and they never did. And I just felt disappointed and ghosted over and over and over and over and over again. So it wasn't like the kisses were fun. It just meant more being vulnerable and being let down. Because I just was desperate for... I had come off of a not so healthy, but still very intense and like, you know, very much all-encompassing 2-year relationship in New York. Straight into BYU, and then that dating scene was just so different than like the real just serious boyfriend-girlfriend relationship I'd had. It was just really hard. All I know is relationships. Being alone, I just know I just am not as happy alone. I got a lot of FOMO. I think I like always am worrying about what other people are doing and like I like to be with people. I always want to be with people. So if I'm alone, I just want to go hang out with like friends or whatever else. When I have a partner, then I am much better on my own because I know that they're like there waiting for me. And also I have like a best friend to do things with. Like there isn't really anyone else I'd want to go do stuff with necessarily, like day-to-day stuff, boring stuff. It's really fun to go out with friends every once in a while for like errands and things. But I just also really enjoy spending time with Vincent. So I could do either. So that's what it is for me. It's just like a life partner. It's like having like a witness to like your life and your day and like what you're doing and what you're interested in and like what catches your eye. It's almost like someone to help you remember like what life is worth living for. I don't know. Like, and you can have that with lots of different types of people. Obviously, like being married has its own type of like romantic relationship also. But I really just like having a life partner. I always have. I think that's why I've always had boyfriends since I was allowed to have them. You know what, Mary? I bet that'll get easier as you get older. Because I feel like it's a lot harder when you're younger. Like, there's less people like that. But I think the older people get, the more independent they become. And other people who, like, haven't had a lot of relationships will be the same kind of independent that you are. And then it might be, like, a whole different ballgame in just a few more years, I think. Like, I think through, like, a lot of my friends that are 30 and single they're not even interested in having a partner. Like, they're good. But if they met the right person, I know that they would be happy with them. They're just so chill with it. It's not like a concern anymore the way that it was when they were younger. Or like, I have a lot of friends who had like always had a partner, boyfriend or girlfriend. And then now they're just like happy, just like vibing in their apartment by themselves that they pay for. It's like a very different scene as soon as everyone kind of got a little bit older. That's hard. I have a hard time keeping friends because my life has always just been so kind of transient. I went to 2 different elementary schools and then 1 junior high, the little charter school junior high, and then 4 high schools. So I never got the chance to like really make good childhood friends. I don't have any childhood friends. I know Dana from college, so we've known each other like a decade now, almost. But like Dana's honestly the oldest friend that I like talk to regularly. There's not very many of them. I don't really have. Most of my older friends also are like still very Mormon, so we just are on different life tracks and there's not a lot to talk about. And I think that there's a little judgment on their end also, where they just don't ask me how my life is. I think they don't want to know. They don't want to hear about it. So that's like tricky also. I've always just ended up making friends with like where I'm at when I'm here. But that's been the hard thing about van life is I haven't really made any friends in van life. I've made like online friends, like people on Instagram, but we've never met up with anyone that like we know from van life really. Except for one gal in Long Beach that we like went skating with them a little bit ago. That's the only friend that we've actually made. Mary, I get that. That's I think the fun part of like dating and relationships is that stage, which I will say, having a partner, that does still happen. as over time. Just, you know, it's sporadic. It's not always consistent, but it does happen. Oh no. Well, that's fun. I do feel like there's always a lot of drama online. If people are just online friends, and things do get messy because it's like you just don't have the same social kind of gates that to keep people from doing too much. They don't have the same things to stop them in healthier ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do the outline of this cat. I luckily haven't had anything with online friends really go wrong. I've had a lot of online friends that I thought would translate into in-person friends, and it just doesn't. Like, being an online friend makes you like a tier lower than like a real friend, which means that you just don't end up actually spending time with them, which is kind of a bummer. Oof, that's rough. I feel like there's always people like that. In every group, there's somebody who's just kind of toxic. In every one of my groups, there has been, for sure. Where it's just like, what are you doing? You're stupid. You still have my phone?
Still have your phone? Yes, right there.
Okay, just keep an eye out if Colby
It
texts.
said, sure, how about the pier in San Clemente?
Yeah, should be fine. Just find parking is the main thing, but it shouldn't be hard in San Clemente.
Sounds good.
This guy Colby, he's one of my dad's really old friends. They met years ago. I think when they all lived in California. This guy's like an expert, like, carpenter cabinet maker, so he lives in a trailer park in Scottsdale. So we would drive our van over. We drove our van over like several times to get his like kind of just expertise on, in particular, upper cabinets were what I was stressed about. So we had his help, his like hands-on help with us putting those together. And then we also used his much nicer big circular saw to cut our butcher block down. And we used his muscles too, because it is so heavy. But he's just like, you know, a chill, like, stoner boomer guy. With, you know, he doesn't have a partner, and he's just in a trailer park. Like a trailer that he's like redone himself. He's just the randomest dude. Sometimes I laugh about the people that Vince and I hang out with, because like we just don't have a lot of friends. Well, like, we do have a lot of friends our friends our age, but we spend a lot of time with all types of people. Like my aunt and uncle are in their 70s, and we love hanging out with them. Like, we'll go over and have dinner with them anytime. I love when they invite us over, and we've made dinner for them too. Like, we love hanging out with them. Colby is the same. Like, he's my dad's age. My dad's 70, and like, we'll just go hang out with Colby. Like, he just is like, want to hang out? Sure. It's like, who are we? I feel like we just end up with the randomest people in our lives that we like make time for. I don't know, man. I think that's my mentality. Especially once I started to lose some of my school friends and realized like I really needed to make more of an effort to like build relationships in my life, or I just wasn't gonna have anyone. I started to just kind of say yes to everything. Like, if anyone invited us to do something, I just wanted to go and like spend time where I could. And it's actually really helped with like, I feel like we have a lot of support in our lives right now. Like, a lot of people who care, even if it's from a distance, but like people like Colby that are just there. Like, if we ever needed anything, I know we could text him for help with like fixing the van or something. He'd be there. And that never would happen if we hadn't spent not only a lot of time with him like building our cabinets, but then we went over to their house a few more times to like make dinner or lunch or dinner together, or just like hang out and like sit around and like chat with him and my dad. Like, we ended up spending a lot of quality time. It's one of those things you don't really know the value of it until maybe you're able to come in. They're able to come in clutch to save you from something. Yeah, Mary, it's the same thing. And it's just so fun having friends of different ages and stages. Like, some of our favorite people in New York are a gay couple that we found through Reddit, actually. One of them is also ex-Mormon, but he served a Mormon mission in France, so he speaks French. So that's how we found him, was like through the ex-Mormon Reddit. And he has been with his partner for like decades. He and Jared, Christopher and Jared, we love them. And they're 40 and in their 40s also. And they're so fun. And like, we would just go and meet up with them at like the local bar all the time. Me and Christopher got really drunk at their house one night. Like, so fun. If you had told me when I was like, 22, that I was gonna be hanging out with people like that at like 28, I would have laughed. Like, there's no way I would have thought that was real. But it's so fun. Not that there's anything wrong with them, just that like where would I even meet them? What would we talk about? Like, I just couldn't imagine like how we would connect with people like that when I was younger, is what I mean to say. It would have been very intimidating. Because I had plenty of coworkers and stuff like in my early years in New York in the little office that we worked in, and I never hung out with any of them outside of work. We were not friends. So I think I got used to thinking that I just needed to be friends with people my own age. But it turns out I don't. One, two. Look at this cute little cat. It's starting to look like a cat. You can almost tell what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ears. That's what makes it look like a cat. It is very cute. I can't wait to finish this one. The cat's gonna be the funnest part. The rest of it's boring. This one's a good one for people who just like the act of stitching and aren't interested in making like anything really complicated and difficult. Oh, Mary, you're totally fine. Go to bed whenever also. Also, goldfish are my favorite snack. I pretty much always have goldfish in our cupboard. Goldfish, Oreos, barbecue Pringles, and Haribo gummy bears, and Cheetos. I love Cheetos so much. I eat Cheetos a lot. Especially the cheddar jalapeno ones. Those ones are so good. Daniel, get yourself some goldfish. They're just a good snack, and they feel a little bit healthier than like chips, I think. Yeah. Goose is trickier because a bottle of vodka is not nearly as fun as a teacup. That's a great idea with the beak tied on. Well, Daniel, lesson learned. Get some snacks. Snacks are vitally important, especially if you're having to like do homework late or something. Snacks help you stay awake. Snack stash. And you have to keep it in your closet. Don't keep it in the kitchen because everyone else will eat it. There's no respect for snacks amongst college kids. One of my really bad roommates, my last semester of college, she kept stealing one of the other girls' food. And the other girl, like, her parents would come up and, like, bulk buy for her. And so she, like, relied on the food that her parents would get her. And yeah, the bad roommate kept stealing it, and so the one that kept getting her food stolen, she like built, like got the plastic shelves and like started keeping all of her food in her room. Because we had like private bedrooms. So she just started keeping all of her food in her room. So anytime we would like be cooking something, she would like run to her room to go grab food to cook with. Good move, Daniel. Mary, I'm sure you'd be fine. Do you care about making sure other people's stuff stays safe? Do you respect boundaries and like As long as you don't use people's toothpaste or food or like towel. Usually that's about it as far as being a good roommate goes. There's a lot of people who can't do that, which says a lot about how bad so many roommates are. But that's pretty much it. The quieter you are, the cleaner you are, the better. Mary, here's the key. You just be messy in your own space. Like if you had your own room, you just be messy in that room. And you keep the public spaces. Which is easier when you don't have a lot of your own stuff in the public spaces. That's what worked well for me, was just not having. I just didn't keep any of my personal stuff out there. I would just keep everything in my room. And I was always really messy too, and I always have way too many clothes. I have so many clothes. I always have. So I always had like, it was like a tornado in my room, and then the public spaces were fine. Don't be like in that same apartment with the girl who'd steal food. That same girl also snuck a kitten, like a kitten kitten, into her room. She wasn't going to school. She had a boyfriend. Like she was just clearly like she was weird. Like none of us really knew like what she was doing. She was like super quiet, coming in and out, but like she would come in and out at odd hours, and she didn't want to talk to anyone. It was like she was like a very odd roommate. Like just she seemed like sneaking around, like kind of shady. And yeah, the other girl in that apartment, there's 4 of us, so it was like the one whose food kept getting stolen. Her name's Carrie. I loved her. She was a bigger girl also, and so that was like my first real exposure to like what it's like to be like a fat girl especially in college. She had a really hard time, and I got really close with her because she would come with me in my car and we'd like run errands together. So she was the only one I was really friends with. We'd like swap books, and like we were friendly. And then there's a really weird girl, and then the other girl was named Jennifer, and Jennifer was like the most anal girl I've ever met in my life. She was so annoying, and no one liked her. She was like over the top, like with rules and stuff, which was incredibly annoying. So 2, 3, 4. So, but the problem is that Jennifer, the annoying one, she also had a cat allergy. So yeah, this shady roommate snuck a kitten into her room, thinking that she could keep a cat. There were no pets. This was student housing. Like there were no pets allowed. She snuck a cat into her bedroom, and of course, Jennifer immediately starts to have allergies, and her bedroom door is locked. And she just leaves the cat there and like goes. I don't know what she was doing. She just left the cat there. And this cat is like scratching under the door and meowing and meowing, meowing. We can't open the door without like calling the front desk or something. And Jennifer's just like having an allergy attack. And we were just like, absolutely not. Like we were so upset. Like all of us were, that was when we finally sat her down and we're like, you have to stop. Like you can't do this. Like this is not good. It was incredibly awkward. It was so hard. It was so frustrating. She was so frustrating. Mary, your sewing stuff would probably be fine. You just need to find roommates that are also are crafty, and then they'll understand. Yeah, that roommate was terrible. She sucked. I think her name was Jasmine or something.
Jasmine.
Was it Jasmine?
I think so.
Me and Vincent started dating while I was in that apartment. So Vincent got to
familiar.
meet all those girls. Yeah, she sucked. I think she also she'd steal toothpaste and like toilet paper and like other stuff that just like girl, what are you doing? And like soaps. Like Carrie and her, I think her name's Jasmine, they shared a bathroom, and then like me and Jennifer shared a bathroom. So I got the clean roommate. Poor Carrie got the really obnoxious one. And I remember Carrie kept getting all of her stuff stolen, like in the bathroom too. And so she just started like keeping everything in her room. By the end of the year, she didn't have anything in any of the public spaces at all. No, I love that name. Actually, that's a really nice name. And if he smells good, that's a win. Yeah, I actually haven't talked to Carrie in a really long time. Because then I started dating Vincent, and then I left at the end of that semester. and she stayed in school, so I didn't really talk to her after that. We were just close for our shared disgust of Jasmine and frustration with Jennifer. She was the one I started to leave church early with. Like, me and her would just bounce because church was that ward, that congregation that we had to attend is at BYU, so everyone is in church. That one was, it was just hard. Like, everyone was very like pretty, it was pretty rich people. Like, we ended up in like the pretty rich people apartment complex, and neither of us fit in at all, and none of us made any friends, so we would just like go to like the main meeting and leave. And Carrie just go sit in my car and talk. Sounds really considerate, be a good boyfriend. I understand. Well, just think, you gave him some practice with his technique, his tongue technique. Mary, you're fine. You're fine. Don't overthink it. If you came back for more, you're more than fine. Daniel, are they really? Where do you wear them in the house? Do you wear them outside the house? Where do you wear them? I got Daniel like these. I still have mine too. These like shark, like 3D with like a little fin on top and fins on the side. Like slides to wear to the beach for his birthday trip. I got a pair for myself, and Vince got a pair for himself. It only took us like 3 tries to get the right size for you. Excellent, Daniel. I'm sure all the ladies love them. Yeah, sharks are cool. I love sharks. I will say I like sharks less now that I'm in the ocean a lot, because not so fun. At least we're in California. Actually the biggest great white shark like nursery where all of the baby sharks hatch and live until they're about 4 feet long. The biggest one in the world is literally right there, like right down the road. At some of the beaches that we surf at, we're even closer to it. And there are great white sharks all over these oceans around here, but people don't get bitten very often. It's like way less than in Florida, where they have all the bull sharks and tiger sharks that are like so aggressive. So at least we have that. Nice, Daniel. It is good to have something that makes you recognizable. A campus with 30,000 kids. Having something that instantly people can clock you and be like, yes, I know him. It's very handy. I know great white sharks they'll go pretty cold. Like, they eat seals. And like orcas will kill them if they come after their young. So I know that they hang out where orcas and seals hang out, but I don't know like which oceans. I don't know. There are leopard sharks at the beach that we hang out a lot right now, Doheny Beach. I'll show you. They're like actually beautiful. I found a video on YouTube of a fisher, like a guy who fishes. He was fishing like you could see surfers in the background of like his GoPro shot, and he was catching like a pretty big leopard sharks. Right there next to where all the surfers were. But leopard sharks aren't aggressive at all. I think they're pretty. Wow. Let me see, I'll show you. I think they're beautiful. They're very spotty. They have like a lot, like beautiful markings. Lots of spots. Sorry for the glare, that's annoying. But yeah, they're just like, they're fun. I think they're so pretty. Like, ugh, look at all the spots. So spotty. They get like, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet long. They're not like huge, but I do think about them quite often when I'm out surfing with my feet dangling in the water. That water's really cloudy and it's mostly rocks on the bottom, so you really can't tell if there's anything down there. They'd be disguised by the rocks even if you could see. Mary, okay. Thank you so much for hanging out. I always love chatting with you. And you stayed up very late tonight, so thanks for that. Have a great night. I'll probably end here soon too. I'm just actually getting so much stitched. Love you so much. Sleep well. Let's see. Daniel, how late are you staying up? Two. It's only 10:30. That's not late for you. Now that you're a college kid. Now you're a college kid, you can stay up as late as you want. Mirror in his sword. Go get some goldfish. Do it. I support you. Ugh. 8 o'clock. I hated 8 a.m. classes. I was never awake. It's like, why? Why does anyone schedule things this early? No one is happy. No one is happy at 8 a.m. Especially all my creative classes were always 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So, like, everyone is tired and everyone is starving the whole time. And then we had that horrible illustration teacher where we had to be just quiet. Couldn't talk. The worst. Shoot, I need to add a stitch. I'm off by 1. Okay, Daniel, if you go get goldfish, I'll get off then. When you go. I'm actually, maybe once I finish this thread, I'm almost done with this thread. We have this much left. Maybe I'll finish it and then stop there, because it's probably good. My back's starting to hurt, so I should do it. Okay, Daniel, go get those goldfish. I believe in you. Good luck. Go fast so that nothing's closed by the time you get there. Bye! Okay, I'm just gonna finish this thread, and then I will hop off. I'm a completionist. I like to complete it before I finish, or take a break. And I'm so close. Never actually look at myself stitching on the screen. I forget sometimes that you can just see my fingers the whole time I'm stitching. Why does that feel so weird? Ugh. I wouldn't want to look at my own fingers. But hey, it's fun to do it with people, that's for sure. I always get so much more done on these streams than I do alone. I last longer. I think I take more breaks, so I feel a little bit better. It's a more balanced crafting session. And it's definitely more fun. Okay, that's the end of my thread. I'm getting off. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I don't know who's still here, but it's so fun to chat. I love working on stuff together. So thanks so much for hanging out. I will see you again next week. Thursday as usual. Should be the same as usual. I will, as usual, post a live stream a few days before so that you have time to plan around it. And thanks so much for hanging out. See you later.